Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. I have a card reading for you today with the Dakini Oracle. And as you know, we are in a very, very important time right now that we are shifting. And when we are shifting in a higher dimension, we also shift on all levels, also the physical body. And that shifting from like the DNA we had that was carbon-based, moving into DNA which is crystal-based in the future, that will also trigger a lot of things in our physical body that might be not so fun to go through. So see here, we have this image actually in the cards, very visible, that when we have the first card of temptation, it actually means, and we have that card a couple times already in the last few weeks, that we have to make a decision. You have to decide where you want to go, and there is no 50-50 or whatever percentage anymore. You have to completely go there. The chameleon is not working anymore. These two cards go together. You cannot switch from here to there and here to there anymore. You have to go a very clear path now, otherwise you're going to miss it. We are now kind of in that overlapping part between the worlds, between the old one with the 3D dimension and the higher dimensions, which is 4 and 5D. But no, we are not there yet. We are not there yet. We are still in between. If we would be there yet, even certain individuals, the world would be very different. We all go through this transition together. You might be there already consciousness-wise, that you have a consciousness already in 5D. And there are a lot of people who are in this situation in the moment, but most are not there with the physical body yet. The physical body goes through a kind of transformation, which is not easy, and we have to adjust everything in our life. And this also is about the food, about the habits we have. From my experience, I need more sleep than I did before. I eat less than I did before. I'm much more careful what I select. I hardly ever eat out anymore or buy food from outside, but I prepare my things myself with Himalaya salt, for example, or pure sea salt that I have. Or, for example, I don't have many sauces anymore like I used to have. If I want ketchup, but it's very seldom, I make it myself. Don't buy the stuff that is actually full of sugar. I saw it analyzed lately that is about this ketchup that you usually buy is about 50% sugar. And so we have to start to read the labels. That's also now the temptation is when you go into a shopping mall, for example, you have all these goodies looking at it. But when you look a bit closer, if you start to read labels and you read all this something, and I have a list of it, and especially the dangerous ones we have to avoid at all costs, and I will put it in the blog where I post the URL for the reading. So this means now these two cards together is an invitation to really be clear about what you want. Those who remain in the state of the chameleon, like changing the colors all the time, they will not be able to reach a higher goal and move into a higher consciousness level. Well, this is not that bad, actually, because nobody's really lost here now. Because even those who play the bad guys, many of them have agreed on that stage to play that role. At the moment the stage, the game is finished, they take off their costume. They are again like divine being having a human experience, like what we all are. I'm not talking about certain entities that have no own life energy that are here to steal our life energy. Those will be gone. Those will have absolutely no chance to move into the next phase of our evolution. So what is happening? What choice do you make? Now see here, the castle in the cloud means keep your visions up. where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? And the next stage, for those who remain then in a 4D level, in a real divine organic matrix, when the false matrix that has already fallen is not upheld anymore through habits of those who are used to do things in a certain way. Once this collapses, and these negative entities cannot use those human beings with the divine spark anymore to steal their energy and will be gone. It's like the shadow is gone when the sun shines, like especially at high noon when the shadow is just straight, it looks like that. So if you are not completely within the light, then you have a longer shadow in one of the directions, either east or west, depending what time of day. And this is actually the situation of many where they are now, and they start to realize the shadow. Shadow is important. We have a shadow, and the shadow is here. The darkness within us is here to teach us. And I'm not talking now about the physical shadow. This is, again, it's just a symbol of what is happening. Everything around us is a reflection, is a symbol of what is happening to us to make us understand. So when we are here in the world of polarity, when I walk out in the light, I cast the shadow. And I cast the shadow because I am a physical being that hinders the light to shed the light in a certain position that I'm standing in front of it, and so a shadow is cast. Now, once we understand that, and this is also very important here, we don't need to fight the shadow. The shadow is just what it is, the dark part of our physical appearance and physical incorporation that is in the light, which represent the polarity. So we have to integrate that. So you can imagine that the more, say, enlightened we are, that means the more light is within us, and light is knowing. It's not the knowledge that you can learn, it's the knowing within that comes from the heart. And as I said many times, we have three brains. We have a brain up here, which is usually just the only one used. But we also have a heart brain. There are now, the science has found out finally that we also have brain cells in the heart, and we also have a gut brain. So we can say this is the rational mind. The heart brain is the loving mind, and the gut brain is the intuition, that kind of feeling that we talk about, gut feeling, right? And this is that feeling that we have that tells us where to go. And if you listen to that gut feeling, it will always propel you in the right direction. So what we are called here for is now to hold our vision. See, here also we have shadow in the clouds. And to integrate the shadow, to integrate the yin and the yang within us without judgment. And this is always the most important thing, to let go of judgment. Because I just had recently a discussion with somebody about what is right and what is wrong, but this is good and this is bad. And, you know, it depends very much where you come from. It is like about the reflection of the brainwash. It doesn't matter if it's religious or rules from society. It's always a model that the society or the religion create for you. And in this creation of a model, you have a certain way to behave. But like if you listen to your gut and to your heart and not just to the rational mind, where the model actually is, the model of the false matrix too, then we have no right and wrong. We just have in the moment a certain way that is reflecting what we are doing, if we are acting or reacting. So if you are acting, that means that you act by free will, because that's what you want. If you react, you're stuck in the mind and you act on a program. The reaction is always programmed. So in the moment something happened to you, outside and you stop to listen to the program and you evaluate everything what is in this situation, that is helping you to experience life. And here we see the part, the elixir of fruit essence. This is to refine your senses. And we need to refine our senses to move into a higher consciousness. We need to be more sensitive in all ways. And this is a symbol of the tip of the tongue, which is one of the most sensitive spots in our physical body, to refine the senses that we can differentiate tastes. But again, taste is also, we don't need to go again into polarity. It's just there because the polarity itself is part of our life, because with no polarity we cannot exist. The word existere means stepping out. So we have stepped out of unity to experience, experience. And in that way, we are divine beings having a human experience. And through our eyes, ears, and all the senses, we experience something for the divine who we are, the true me, the I am, because the I am cannot experience without the physical body, or another body, kind of a body. We have to go into some kind of polarity. It doesn't matter how dense it is. And even if we move to 40, 50, there is still polarity, because otherwise there is no experience. There is just pure beingness, but no more experience. So the lesson in the moment, what is coming here through the cards, is that we need, first of all, we have to make a decision. We have to make the decision not to be that wishy-washy whatever anymore, but to make commitment for a path. And what path is just according, it will be according your consciousness level. And again, there is no good and bad. When say, for example, a person is in first grade, you cannot jump from first grade to to a senior high school, or if you are in fifth grade, you cannot jump to university. You don't have the knowledge yet to get there. So this symbol, just to show you, so if you agree to go that process of your personal evaluation, you start to talk to the soul, to the divine, to that what is life within you, to be guided and make that decision. Say, for example, you start your mantra in the morning. I surrender to the divine within. You can also say to the God or the goddess, whatever words you use. I surrender to the divine within, and ask him or her, whatever you used to do, tell me what I need to know, guide me, protect me. Once you start that mantra, also in situations that in the day that you kind of are not completely sure, what should I do now? You can always use it. Divine within, tell me what I need to know. This is the best question, because very often questions cannot be answered because you don't know what you need to know. You can only ask a question if inside somewhere you know the answer or you know the topic. So to refine yourself, your senses on all level, to keep up that castle in the cloud, meaning that vision. This is a vision. This is not manifest yet. This is now the vision when you have an idea, for example. Also, if you want to build a house or if you do some creative work, whatever, you have a vision what you want to do. Now, if it keeps only the vision, the painting is never done, the house is never built. But if you bring it in, if you keep to feed that vision with energy, it slowly starts to manifest. You will attract the people to help you. You will have a solution for the money you need, whatever it is, the colors that you need for painting, whatever it is, you will attract it to come to you. And the process itself, I can say, of building that house and doing the painting is refining your senses and helps you to develop your personal taste. And this is what the divine wants. The divine wants this experience. The divine, you're perfect already. The divine does not want you to strive for perfection. The divine wants you to express what you can, what you're here for, and not strive for something that you are not or that you don't have. So just go with it and go with what you are. Make the decision. Okay, I decide today I'm going to be identical and I'm not listening anymore to what others say about me. I listen to the divine within. I keep that vision, what I want to have, do whatever. Give that vision the power that you have. And in the process, your senses will be refined. And then it's much, much easier to find your way through that maze where we are now. Don't worry about what's happening in the world. Remember, it's all illusion. And nothing is real. And if you are in a place you don't want to be, get out. That's the only thing what I can recommend. Don't stay in places where you were abused, where your energy is stolen. Find another way, find another job, find another house, find another whatever. If you have the calling to do so, it will happen. You have to ask the divine to guide you, and you can say it at the same time, I surrender to the divine within and guide me to the place where I'm supposed to be, or guide me to the position that I'm supposed to have, whatever it is, formulated in this way. But don't give it advice how you want it to happen, because this does not happen. The other side does not work as we work, first of all, because there is no time. So things are happening differently. But once you're ready for change, once you are ready for decisions, things will happen for everybody. And it really is so, it does. So just start to do that. Get that mantra ready for yourself to connect to the divine, who you really are, and not the clothes, like the physical body is the clothes where I am, the spirit of me, the divine me is inside. And I guess this is not just divine advice for today and tomorrow. This is something that you can take along, because this is what brings you to the goal. And not just a personal goal, but a much higher energy frequencies behind that, that you can achieve the spiritual goal, that spiritual evolution that you have chosen to be here now, to determine the timeline that you are going to move forward from now on. I hope that helped a little bit to understand the time quality. I will have a moon reading soon again for you, and I wish you a very nice day. Bye-bye for now.